Hi, this is Kara from the Special Needs Mom podcast.
And this is Angela from Especially Organized, Sensible Solutions for Special Needs Moms.
We have this heart for special needs moms. And so we thought, you know what, let's combine forces. And we have come up with what we're calling the Purge Party. And you can pretty much guess what it is. It's a party where we're going to come together and we're going to purge, or in general, accomplish a goal, a small goal together. So we have set this for January 27th, starting at 8 o'clock for my Pacific Coast people,
which means 11 o'clock for all of you on the East Coast. So this is an opportunity. If you have something on your to-do list that has just been stuck there and you are wanting to move it up on the list, you're wanting to tackle, maybe it's a space or an area of your home or a category in your home that has just needed a little time and attention. This is your opportunity for you to be online with us while you work and have access for us to help you answer your questions, help guide you, and just serve you for those 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you can tell like what we've designed is just this very high level of support for that project that you just haven't been able to tackle on your own. The thing that we are envisioning is that you get to leave this purge party feeling so accomplished because you did the thing. You started the year off getting that thing done that you were stuck on last year. And so it's a momentum builder, if you will. You can go ahead and sign up. We have a link ready for you, and we are offering this for $40 for the whole experience.
Absolutely. And we hope you'll join us. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a great group of moms of special needs kids. So we all get each other. We all have an understanding of what it's like to have something on our to-do list, but just we haven't been able to tackle it yet. So I hope that you will join us. We're super excited to bring this to you, and we are thrilled to work with you.
All right. We'll see you all there. Hi, I'm Kara, life coach, wife, and mom to 4 incredible and unique children. It wasn't all that long ago that my son received a diagnosis that had my world come crashing down. I lacked the ability to see past the circumstances, which felt impossible, and the dreams I once had for my life and family felt destroyed. Fast forward past many years of surviving and not at all thriving, and you'll see a mom who trusts that she can handle anything that comes her way and has access to the power and confidence that once felt so lacking. I created the Special Needs Mom podcast to create connection and community with moms who find themselves feeling trapped and with no one who really understands. My intention is to spark the flare of possibility in your own life and rekindle your ability to dream. This isn't a podcast about your special needs child. This is a podcast about you. If you are a mom who feels anxious, alone, or stuck, then you are in the right place. Welcome. Hello and welcome to the Special Needs Mom podcast. As I'm recording this, I'm feeling a little afraid that I might be going down with the same stomach bug that half of my family had this past week. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you got to get this episode done before you can't do it anymore. But this is perfect timing because this episode is designed to be a little on the shorter side and kind of just something that is fun. Really, ultimately, it's going to leave you, I think, with some new thoughts about yourself that my hope and goal is to have them be part of an identity that you take on purposefully that has you really tap into the inner strength, the inner drive that you have, and really acknowledging all you do and who you are. So I have this experience when I go to the gym. I go to Orange Theory, so shout out to all my Orange Theory people. And I'm running, and at Orange Theory, they have you on the treadmill and they kind of tell you what to do and how to do it. So how fast to go, obviously according to your abilities, and also how steep of an incline. And I've always been good at distance. I've never been a very fast person. So the thoughts that I have in my mind when I'm doing these workouts, they tap into a part of me that I love. Like I'm an endurance mother. This thought always comes across my head, or even I mean, as I'm exercising, I have thoughts about I'm really good at endurance or I rocket hills because I'm really not very quick, but man, I got grit. So I can keep going perhaps when other people tucker out. This episode is named after this. It's called Endurance Mothering. It's kind of inspired also by ultra runners. Have you heard of these people? It is incredible. I am kind of fascinated by it. And, what I really love about learning about them is that it has me in awe of the human capacity. When you learn what these runners do, I mean, for me, because, I'm like, pretty done with running after a half an hour, they are just awe-inspiring. So these runners are going to be running double marathons. That's like, however, 52 miles, 52.6 miles, I think. Or they do 24-hour races where they run for 24 hours without stopping. Or I looked it up and there's also 1,000-mile races. These are done over a couple days, but imagine running 1,000 miles is a lot of miles. And to be done day after day, you have to build up to that. And more importantly, I think your mind has to be in a space where you believe that you can do this. Your mind has to be really very clear of who you are, and in this case, an ultra runner. And that's where I want us to kind of shift the ultra running concept to our mothering experience. And this is the identity I want to offer you, that you are an endurance mother. I think about all the things that take to be the mother of our children. And I just think about how deep we have to dig, to go the distance. It's the living on incredibly low amounts of sleep. It's managing so much information and doctors and therapists. It's the social and emotional navigation that it takes to navigate all these people, keeping good enough relationships to get your child what they need. And, all the appointments. I mean, shall we even mention all that it takes to manage IEPs at school? All the medications, the G-tubes, the other treatments, the shots, the talking to insurance to make sure you can get all these things for your child. And then there's the vigilance that it takes to have that constant awareness of your child's needs and being ready at any moment's notice to go into action. There's the financial impact, all that it takes to financially provide for these children. And a lot of you do this on top of a full-time job. And yet you still invest in your relationships and your marriage. And beyond that, you show up emotionally for your child. You figure out the emotional supports and you create social experience for your child. Like, as I'm saying this, what I'm hoping that you're connecting to is the expanse of what you do. And just like when we talk about these ultra runners, it's kind of awe-inspiring, I think. And it's not necessarily the one-offs, the day by day. It's that we do this for days, for weeks, for months, for years, and for a lot of us, a lifetime. That to me is awe-inspiring. Especially when I was telling somebody recently that's kind of been in my world. She knows a lot about my life, but I don't talk to her about the details. She's not in my life in that way. And I was telling her, just kind of mentioning, I realized that I think I did 9 appointments last week in addition to all the other things that it takes to manage and care for 4 children. And she really could not believe it. Like, she was like, wait, are you serious? She's like, how is that even possible? And in that moment, it really dawned on me like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm an ultra mom in this case because that is my normal. That's how I run. Not the 9 appointments. I don't do that every week. That was a one-off. But that I had the capacity to do that, to manage that, to overcome the challenges there. And like I said, when this woman learned those details, like, she truly was in awe. And I think it was a helpful reflection to me to really be able to stop and recognize what I was doing. And then, what I'm offering you is to really stop and recognize what you are doing. And like these runners, it makes me stop and really kind of admire what we do, what you do. So this conversation, this episode is really about you taking a moment to stop, perhaps take a deep breath, and admire and be in awe of what you do. Perhaps you even say out loud, I am an endurance mother. Or maybe you add your own flavor of it and say, I'm an ultra mother. And to me, that is what it means to be a special needs mom. That when I call myself that, for me, it really is something I feel proud of. And it's something that for me allows me to really acknowledge what it takes for me to advocate and accommodate and provide all that my child needs to thrive. And so I hope that you find your own flavor that fits for you. Perhaps you write it on a Post-it note. I'm an endurance mother. Perhaps you write it on your hand or your wrist. Maybe go all out and get a tattoo. That would be a great tattoo, actually. I don't have any tattoos yet, but now that kind of makes me want to get one. Anyhow, I want to leave you with that. I'll also mention that if you want to run this race with a club, with a community who both help you in your form, but also encourage you when you think you can't go on, please consider reaching out and getting more information about the Pathway to Peace program. It's a group coaching program. So the real magic of this program is not just the content. It's not just the coaching, but it's the coaching in combination with community. So this is a place where you get to stop feeling alone, like nobody understands, and you get to start to unravel all that's going on in your mind, in your heart, all the complications that have you feeling that peace is out of reach. So what you need to do is just click on the show notes, reach out to me, we'll chat about it, and we'll see you on the next episode. One more thing before we officially wrap up this show. Sometimes when I'm listening to podcasts, I have the experience of wanting more. I'm listening at the very end thinking, I sure wish that episode didn't end. I invite you, if you feel in any way the same way, I invite you to the Special Needs Mom podcast community, which is a free group that I host on Facebook, where we as a community of fellow moms who listen to this podcast and are experiencing life in similar shoes, get to talk to one another, get to share stories, get to actually interact. I hope you'll consider joining. See you over there.